So welcome back to Sorare Wakey Academy. Remember, if it's your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe and that like button at any time so you don't miss any of the content or the giveaways that I do. Right, back to the best bargain basement buys. We've moved on to our 10 forwards today, and it'll go from the most expensive ones in my watch list down to the cheapest ones at the time of recording. So let's get underway, and our first player we're going to be looking at then is Souza, who plays for, I call him AAB in the Superliga. So we'll go and have a look at his price first then. He's £13.40, it's the most expensive guy I've got, but sort of like his 3-day average of £10, so you might get him slightly cheaper than 13 quid. But you'll see his price has dropped a lot, and it's because he had a couple of games out. He was dropped and had a couple of games out, I don't know if he was injured, but his price went down. It hasn't really recovered yet. And as you see, we're down at his £10 mark now. Just want to quickly look at his scores then. His SO5 scores, I'll always put them all on to check this out. A lot of greens on this, so not too many reds, but recently he's had a couple of reds, as you'll see, or oranges. Not too great at games. AAB are not the best side in the world, but you can see he's capable of big scores. Looking at, I mean, he's had 76 games, over 16 goals, 16 assists. Now he plays as sort of like a winger. He can't play up front, but he plays more as a sort of winger. We'll have a look at his team and see how they're doing. You'll see on in the last game he played as a left winger. But I want to look at the last 15 games because he's only been here for 16 games. So he's top on the averages. He's on the top board on the all-round averages. Net decisives, minutes played, he's somewhere on that board, isn't he? 5th on that board. Then we've got goal scorers. He's top scorer with 4 from them 15. Assists, he's got 1. But then he also takes free kicks as well there, as you can see. And corners too. So that's really going to help him out. But AAB, bottom of the league at the moment. They have just got Nico Mantle to sign for them. So Theo Sander, the young goalkeeper at the moment, will be getting booted out, we hope. And Nico Mantle put in his place, which should shore them up a little bit. And hopefully make his job a little bit easier. But that's our first player then, Souza. So second player on the list that we're going to look at then is Luca Caprari. The name might be familiar to yourselves, but he's playing down at Monza at the moment in Serie A in Italy. Sort of a left attacker, more of a left winger, I think, from what I've seen him, attacking midfielder on the left. His price at the moment, £8.98, is the maximum you pay today. Monza not a great side. His price is sort of, it's gone up slightly, but just only ever so much. If we look at like the last 6 months, I mean, I bought him down here not long back, quite cheap, and I think I ended up selling him in the end. But you can see his price was quite high in the past. He is an Italian international. We'll just have a look at his SO5 scores, and we'll see a little bit of history on here. When you look at this at first, you think, well, why are you selecting this guy? In 25s and 40s and that, it hasn't really flown, has he? But I know this guy from old. Even from the Football Index days when I was watching him, he was banging the goals in, playing really well, so I know he's capable of that. You see at the end now, where he's on his 85s and 80s and 70s, so he is capable of that. It's just he's moved to Monza recently and hasn't been fantastic. So you see looking down his scores, and he's sort of in and out of the teams, getting 20s and 30s. He's played international games there, and he was also, you see where the Monza suddenly ends, he's got a few international games again. And you see he was at Hellas Verona before that. And he was playing really well at Hellas Verona. And then there's another team before that. He's just been all around the place, this guy. But some big scores there, as you can see. So, well capable. Let's look at Monza at the moment then. Because as I say, they're not the best team. And I mean, they've got a 2-2 draw with Inter recently. However, he doesn't feature in any of these sort of, top 10 things, top 6, whatever they are here. He doesn't feature in any of them because he's just not playing very well. And where are Monza? Can anyone see them? So it looks like a bit of a glitch in soraredata because that's showing the 2nd division. And I'm guessing the Monza are now Serie A. He's got up here, there was Serie B and Serie A. So Serie A, but he's not showing in any of them anyway. But they're not the best of teams. Not big goal scorers and pretty crap in defence as well. But that's my second player. And because of the knowledge that I know about this guy, I know he could be good. And that price, I think, could only go up again. So we're on to our third forward, and this time we've got Marius Bulter, who plays for Schalke. And now they're in the Bundesliga, and again, I'm not quite sure exactly where they are in that league. which is due to soraredata not showing it again on there, but I'll click onto Flash Scores and we'll show you the league here then. Yeah, so they are in Bundesliga 1, and you see Schalke at the bottom there, lost quite a lot of games in a row there, only won 2. So Marius Bulter then, why have we gone for him? Well, his score's not great in his last 5, so room for improvement, slightly off form here. He does play sort of left striker, can move back to the wing a little bit. But you'll see here then, look at his price there, sorry, £7.62 is his floor price at this moment in time. Looking at his price graph, we'll go for the 1 year, it'll show it fully. And you'll see here the decline of his price there. He's gone from like £45 all the way down now to this £7 that you see. So a big slump in his price. Looking at his scores, you'll probably see why that is, because let's have a look at all his scores. But you see here, he's played really well in the past. I mean, this is when he broke into teams here, and then he started hitting all the 60s and 70s as he was playing regular, even 100 up there. But then come down, he's not been great recently, although he's still playing every 90 minutes, so he's still getting all the game time, he's just not playing that well. You can see when he was on form, he was like, hit a hat-trick and an assist there, and a 5-2 win at Darmstadt. But mainly due to him going up at league, I guess. He's struggling quite a bit in this Bundesliga rather than Bundesliga 2. So we'll have a look how he's been doing here. We'll have a look at his last 40 games. Now remember, some of this will be from Bundesliga 2 and some from this year as well. But on the top 5 average, top SL5 averages, then he's third there, and you see he's on the top of the list as well on the all-round averages. Net decisives, he's second only to Road, and also in the minutes played, he's second in that as well. Road's a decent goal scorer as well, a bit more expensive, but the 9 assists there, and isn't really on the free kicks, penalties or anything like that. But in fact, he isn't penalties, sorry. He's got 2 out of 3 penalties. But he's not on the free kicks or corner kicks. So that's Butler, who I think will only get better again. He's a bit off form, so once he comes in, they're doing not too well in the league, so hopefully that can change as well. So next one we're going to be looking at him is Darwin Quintero. He's currently at America de Cali. Now I had to look up where it was, and it is in Colombia. But Quintero was just moved there from Houston Dynamo, so there was no information on him when I started looking under the America de Cali. I couldn't find him anywhere. And obviously, he's just moved from Houston. I thought I remembered him from the MLS, watching a few games, where I've seen him play attacking midfielder. He's down as like a forward coming midfielder. But he's got a good last 5 and a decent 15 and 40 as well. Now, his price graph then, you can see he's gone down in price. And that was in June, so it's not that long ago. He's only just moved, hasn't he? So, well down in price. He's down at £6.47, and the reason I've got him again now is, I'll show you his SL5 scores then, from when he was in the MLS, remember. I think he's gone to a weaker league now. I see Colombia is slightly weaker. And you can see what his scores were here, and he was getting the 80s and 70s. And I thought, if this guy hits the ground running with these in a weaker league, he could be fantastic again. You see him with 65s, 70s. He's had a few bad games as well, but he's been out as well. I remember him being sort of in and out quite a lot. So you can see he's been on the bench there, but then 90 minutes dropped him. I don't know if that's the MLS way, some of you experts might be able to tell me that. But that's the next guy, Darwin Quintero. I have had a look at a few other websites as well, just to check him out, but nothing really on there that I wanted to show you, so just take his name and go and do some research on him. So the next one we're looking at then is Luca Prip, who plays in the Superliga in Denmark for AAB. So we've had a couple of AAB players in this series that we've done. You'll see he's down as a right attacking midfielder. Now we've got a forward card for him, but there's 420 midfielder cards, only 64 forward cards. I don't know which one of them is the best at the moment. Go and check them out and see. He's a Danish player, and we'll have a look at his price, and he's only £4. So the price has gone right down from Quintero down to Prip now. So right down to £4. You might get him even cheaper, and you can see again his price has gone down slightly. But we'll have a look at his scores, and you'll see 54 for his last 5. So he's having a good time of it at the moment, with 54 as an average. But you'll see here when we look at it, he's well capable again of hitting these hundreds and the 90s. So if you just get him to hit a couple of them each month, then you're laughing. And you can see here 70s, couple of bad games again. But he seems to hit a lot of form, like here, 87, 51, 100, and then he'll go into a poor spell, and then go into a good spell again. So it depends where you catch him. So if you can get him where he's just finished a good spell, he's onto a bad one, buy him just before he starts his good spell again. 15 goals, 9 assists, and not a bad player. Let's have a look at AAB and have a look at their league again. Just a reminder, because this is where Souza's from as well, remember. This is where we saw Prip, if I remember rightly. Prip was above him in some of the games. So yeah, so the last 5 averages, Prip was just above him. And all-round averages again, he's near the top. Top net decisives, top goal scorer then is Prip with 13, top assists. And again, penalty kicks, he's got 3 out of 3. And he is on a couple of the free kicks as well, does take free kicks now and again. AAB at the bottom, like we say, but a new goalkeeper on its way with Nico Mantle, just reiterating that. So a decent player, I think, again, to put into your side for just £4. The next 4 we've got for you then, long name to say, Jose Pedro Fuenzalida, something like that. Plays for Catalica out in Chile. Last 5 of 58, 15 of 60, and the last 40 of 53. So he's always up there, good scores. And played 100% of the games as well. Now he does play as a striker normally, but you'll see him there, he has played in midfield as well in the past. Now he's only £3.34 floor price, the maximum you pay today, £2.95 for his 3-day average. Looking at his actual prices, and he's been up at like £15, £16, so he's never been high, really high. Let's look at his all-time price, and we'll probably won't get much more information on this. Yeah, £20 maximum. Because of his age, he's 37, so you're going to have to check if he's retired or if he's still playing at the moment. I think they'll keep him playing at the moment. But looking at his scores, we can have a look down his SO5, and you'll see here, in the last year, he's got decent scores, hasn't he? Not a single orange in there, a couple of yellows scattered around them, but normally greens. I mean, Catalica are a very good side, to be honest. And look at this form here. How much is he? £2 something? And he's hitting all these 60s and 90, 50s. Great play to have him there, especially in the cap division as well. I think he could come quite useful there. We'll have a look at Catalica again. You've seen them before, I think, when we've looked at a few other players then. But we'll have a look at his last 40. You'll see, where are we? There, so he's third on the list there, third for all rounds. We've got Sam Pedro, he's a brilliant attacker then, he's hard to beat for goals. But he's in second place to him then. He's also, in the minutes played, he's up there really high. Goal scorers, he's got 4, whereas Sam Pedro, brilliant guy, 24 goals he's hit. And again, the free kicks and that he's scored free kick assists 1 in 3. Free kick goals, hasn't scored, but he is on the free kicks, so you can see none out of 1. And he's also on corners. So these could be very effective for his score and when assisting or shooting direct from them free kicks. So their league hasn't started yet, it's about to start, I believe, soon. That's my next player. And his name is Fuenzalida Junior, who plays for Shimizu S Pulse down in the J League. Contracted there still until January 24, so another year there. And he's only the youngish sort of guy, and 28 to be playing in the J League. Good last 5 and 15, and a pretty decent last 40. So plays left midfield, can play up front as well, but £3.12 is his sort of price at the moment. And if we look at the last year, I did buy one recently for £4. I think I've sold him already. But you know, he has been, there's a price of £25, but he hasn't moved that much. He's in like the £10 to £15 sort of mark. And when they kick off, the season starts, it might go up slightly because obviously we're out of season at the moment. But nothing to write home about so much, but for £3 it could be worth pushing into your team again. 3 goals, 6 assists there from that wing in 16 games. And can do alright with the scores. On a 64 there, 79. Bearing in mind he hit 79 in 71 minutes and he got a goal and assist and he still only scored like a 79. So, you know, he's not a massive AA scorer, but does hit a goal now and again. Could be worth putting into your side then just for that, you know, these 70s and 60s. But a lot of the time he's maybe going to hit a 30 and maybe not get you a decent score. Looking where they came last season then, I don't think it'll show that either because it's just ready for the new season. So yeah, they're not showing the league, but we'll have a look at his last 40 games then. It's not top of the list on anything, but you know, at £3 you wouldn't expect that. Although he is just on the bottom of that list there, the top averages. And he's in net decisives, yeah, 7 decisives. Minutes played, he is on that list, so he's better than I thought he was. he's getting onto a few of these lists, and you see there he's also got 4 assists, so he's third in that. And also, I think he's on, yeah, he takes a couple of free kicks. Nothing else, a couple of corners as well. But he's an alright type of player. You see him there, played in the left wing, but he can play up front as well when they're needing to change things around a bit. So that is Kaluza Junior. We are still in the MLS here, then we're with Real Salt Lake, and this is Justin Meram. Now, he's an international for Iraq, and he's not a bad player, you know. When I first looked at him, I got him as a rare. His scores were quite good, so I bought him as a rare just to put into my threshold team. Didn't realise how good he was playing for Iraq. But again, he went and sort of like, he starts well for about 5 games, then goes downhill. I was lucky I got him for them 5 games, and then he went downhill. But remember these prices, if you're just starting out, this lad is £2.72 floor price, £2.62 for his 3-day average. It's nothing, is it, really? Plays left midfield, but he has been playing, when I had him, he was playing up front for them, and maybe just behind that striker slightly. But you'll see up there, he was up at £40. I bought him down here at like £4, and I sold him for about £2, I think. So yeah, £2.11 I sold him for, just wanted to get rid of him in the end. But I think he could hit that form again. And you'll see his last 5 is 37, so not doing well, but his last 40 of 52. This is what sort of excites me again now about this lad, because he was really good at one time. And I just want to see again, looking at his SO5 scores, you'll see here then that, you know, they aren't bad, are they? Have a look at his all-time scores then. Not a massive amount of goals, 9 in 65 games there, 15 assists, but his scores, he can hit these 70s. And at £2 for the player, if you even once hit them 70s and then the rest of the players all come in as well, long shot, but they might all come in at the same time then, it'd be okay. Look at this scores here then when he hits these assists and things. It goes in little streaks. Again, he's in good form. So from like here upwards, look at all these, bang. All these scores coming in were good, and then a bit of poor form, before average form, and then poor form again. So he could turn, he could become decent again. And let's look at his Real Salt Lake team, and we'll have a look at his last 40. It might push him up a little bit more. And yeah, he's second on that list there. Second on the all-round averages, because he gets really good scores and then really bad scores. So you've just got to try and pick him up at the right time, maybe play him in the decent games that he can play in. Top goal scorer with 3, that's what he hit there. I don't think he takes any corners and that. Well, he has, he's took a couple of free kicks, a couple of corners, but not a glamorous player, nothing like that, but he can do alright, and for that price, again, it's probably worth having. So that's my next player, Justin Meram at Real Salt Lake. Now we come to our final forward then, and this is Tadic. A few of you may have heard of him before. Plays for Hartberg in the Austrian Bundesliga, and I think they're bottom of the league again. He is a forward. His price here, floor price £2.61. Doesn't reflect how good this lad is, to be quite honest. No, he's down on the bottom of my list of 10. He's not the bottom overall on my watch list, but he is one of the bottom ones I've picked out. You can see his price up here has been up at like £16, and he was scoring quite regularly, scoring quite well regularly. It's just had a bad time, I think. Looking at his scores now, you'll see again he's had like 7 scores in the 60s and 70s in the last year. I want to put his all-time scores on just to see how bad he is. You'll see down here he had these yellows and the oranges, but every now and again he pops up, hits a couple of goals, and he's hit 60s, 70s, 80s. Now you'll hear in all these other videos that I mentioned from the Quinnies and the Nellises and that, about as long as that player can hit a big score over 70 at certain times, then he's worth having. And this guy's certainly doing that, as you can see here, look. Decent scores of 70s. Every now and again he pops up, even a bit decent form there, look. And again, I was looking at this lad for my rare threshold team at one time, but he has gone downhill slightly since then, hence his price. But look at these scores back here. 80s, 60s, 79s. I mean, Hartberg aren't as good as they were last season, but, you know, it's affecting obviously his goals that he's scoring and everything, but overall, I think, look at his last 40, he should be, I think, near the top of all these. So, Tadic again, yeah, so he's up the top at second there. Now, he's not got a good all-round score, so it's only when he scores these goals that he's getting these big high SO5 scores then. But net decisive 16 there, but I think a lot of them have been goals. He does play in nearly all the games, he's 4th on the list there. Goal score, yeah, 13, so he's got net decisive 16 and he's hit 13 goals. So not many assists, only 3 assists on that. Now, yeah, so there's his 3 assists there. Does take penalties and hit 4 out of 5. He also takes free kicks, or is third in line, sorry, for the free kicks. And does he take corners? Yeah, but now and again he'll take the corners. Second choice to Kynes. But Hartford, bottom of the league, 16 games, got 11 points. Not scoring that well. They were better this last year, so we'll see if they can pull themselves back up and get Tadic back on that score sheet, because he is better than what that's showing at the moment then. So that's my last player then, Dario Tadic. Had to change it because I had Capel, as you've just seen there, but he's moved out of the leagues there, doesn't score anymore, so I've had to go with Dario Tadic. So that's it. That's my forwards out of the way. We'll have a quick look at the watch list then, so you can see down here. This is my watch list that I've been working off. And you can go down, the prices start at £13 and come all the way down to that guy was saying Cable there at £1.15. Not worth having at the moment though, because he's not playing. So good player, decent scores, but he's just not playing. So go and have a look down all of them. Do your own research again, like I say. It's just a guide for you. Even if you're looking at rares and super rares, or even uniques, it's look at the prices. Well, they're going to be cheap because you've seen the price of their limited cards. So go and have a look at them, scout out who you want and see who you can find. But that's all my outfield players done for this series, and the next one will be my goalkeepers, which will probably be tomorrow evening, where I'll also announce the winner of the 400 subs giveaway that I'm doing. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But put down in the comments below which one of these you would go for, because I love that the community is sort of getting together now, and it's not about seeing how many views we can get in the video, it's about giving you information, making you think slightly differently. And we've got that many decent guys that are watching these videos that have got all this information in their heads as well. And when they put in the comments what they've been scouting and what they know about the players, it's brilliant, because we all read them. I even read them and think, I didn't think about that. And that's what's good about it, is letting you all see these different players that you might not have thought about in the past. And we build a massive list together for the community, and we all do well and move on together. So thank you for watching. Remember, if you haven't subscribed, then please hit that subscribe button now and hit the like, guys. The more likes we get, it does push the videos up, and it helps us keep sort of up there at the top, where you lot can see it, and all that information gets spread to more and more people. So thank you for that. You know where I am on Twitter. My DMs are always open. I'm also on Discord, not as much, but I am on there. Or you can put comments below in this video as well. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. It's going to be a big one tomorrow. It's going to be the goalkeepers, which I'm sure all of you want to see. We have got some good keepers on there for very, very low prices. So thank you, we'll see you soon.